Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to analyze my IDT paper, which was one of the toughest paper in Jan 26 and in which I got 55 marks out of 100 marks. By the way, I attempted my IDT paper and seeing my marks of 55, I was very happy. So in today's video, I am going to share my biggest learning from the IDT paper, and this is one of the most important video because in May 26 there is short guarantee that 2 out of 6 papers will be tough papers and you have to find the answer in those 3 hours only. So how did I tackle this IDT paper and how did I get 55 and what are the biggest learnings that I felt after analyzing my IDT paper, I will share in this video. And if you have not watched the previous videos where I have analyzed my papers of Jan 26, do watch those videos. They are in a playlist called as CA Final Exams. So now without wasting much time, let's start with the video. As you can see on the screen, I got 33 out of 70 marks in my IDT paper and 22 marks I received from the MCQs. And I tell you that the MCQs were not at all easy. They were very tricky MCQs and still I received 22 marks. It is a very big achievement for me seeing 22 marks in MCQs. So the first and the biggest learning which I have been telling from the last few videos, that to get an exemption or to clear your CA final exam, your MCQs grip should be very good. And only if your MCQs are good, then only you are going to clear or get an exemption in your CA final exams. And where to practice MCQs, there is a video of Siddesh Walimbe sir of around 57 MCQs he has solved. So do watch that video because it is a very big learning for you guys and even that helped me. So watch this video. Siddesh Walimbe sir, he is one of the very good faculties of IDT. In my preparation period, I referred to his revision videos as well as IDT HOTS. So do subscribe to his channel if you have not subscribed it. Now coming to the actual paper. So I received 33 out of my 70 marks and I will tell you how to approach a very tough paper, because after reading the question paper for the first 15 minutes, I realized that I don't know much of the paper. I knew that I know some questions, but I don't know the entire paper and I have to just go with my gut, just believe my preparation and start writing. So this is the way I started my writing. So I started with question number 5B, not even A. So the first thing that you have to understand is that in a tough paper, you have to identify questions that are easy for you. And only in that manner, you will be able to solve most of the paper, even if it is a tough paper. So I started with question number 5B because I knew this question. I knew that I will be able to score good marks in this question. So it was a pre-deposit question. How much pre-deposit is needed? So as you can see, whatever the key points were that the pre-deposit will be 10% of that and maximum 40%. Even this is important. You get marks for this. As you can see, there is a tick mark here, not for this. The tick mark is for this. So even the marks are allotted for writing the bracket one as well. Then as you can see the answer here. So this is the way you have to write the solution. You can see the answer is very clear and very neat and there is not much provision that is explained by me. Still I received full out of full in this question. Now the second point, only 2 paragraphs. I have underlined the key points and the solution, final solution is here as you can see in the bracket. So everything, there were 4 points and in this way I solved my question number 5B. So as you can see, I received 5 out of 5 marks. Every key point I have underlined it and he has only given marks for the key point as well. So in tough papers, identify the easy questions as I have written in the learnings for you, and there will always be easy questions. You just have to identify, don't get panicked. Then only you will be able to get good marks in a tough paper or solve the entire paper. Now coming to the next question. So this was a e-commerce related question. And after reading through the question, I realized that I know some part of the question and I don't know the entire thing. So what I did, that I wrote whatever I knew and then left the pages for which I did not know anything. So as you can see, I calculated the penalty for Bicart, who is an e-commerce operator. So under section 122, you have to calculate the penalty. So I received 1 marks here for the penalty. And now as you can see here, after this, I left the page. So if you go down, so this page is cancelled. This page is cancelled. So I've left 2 pages for writing the second and the third part in that question. And I moved on with the next question. But I received only 0.5 in the next part because I did not know anything after it. So the learning is that if you don't know the entire solution of the question, leave some space and then come back after the question, after solving the entire paper. So this is the thing. And this is the only approach that you have to do, because in a tough paper, in one particular question, you will not know the entire sub questions. You will know one sub question and some part of the other sub question. So you have to just be smart, write everything you know and leave spaces and move on. Do not waste time thinking of the provision. If you don't know, you don't know. As simple as that. So as you can see, 5B was done, 5C was done. So even 5C, I left that space. So if you go down, see, I have left the space. I have left one more page as well. These pages were not left because I knew everything. These pages were left because I did not know anything. I did not attempt this question in the first half. I attempted in the last 5 minutes. And still, as you can see, I received 2 marks here. 2 marks. And if you go through the question book or the paper or the actual module, you will realize that these points are not even there in this structure. I knew that there was some statement like an auction. I knew that this should have been hazardous goods, but I did not know the keyword. So I wrote firearms, and I knew perishable goods. So these points are in a single point in the module, but I did not know anything. And it was a 4 marker question. So for 4 marker, I divided the entire points. One single keyword I divided into multiple points. So this and this were a single point in the module, but I divided it into 2 parts. And as you can see, I received point half here, and just writing this joint commissioner, I received 1 mark. So this is the way you have to do. If you don't know anything, just leave it. Then come back again. Your mind will just go through, remember, and you will find something. Your mind will find some solution and you will be able to solve it. Just trust me, because there will be tough paper. And the only reason you will fail in a tough paper that you will get panic. That's it. If you just be calm and write everything you know, there are short chances that you will pass. And you will get good marks even if you are not expecting it. So I was not expecting 55. I was expecting that, God, let me just pass, let me just clear by 40. Still, I received 55, and it is a very big number. Now, coming to the next question. So all the learnings, I have written it. You will get the link of this PDF in the description box, so you can download it. Now, coming to question number 6A. So as you can see here, I have written it is a very lucky question. Not because I knew everything. It is because I actually studied this 1 hour before going to the exam. And I received a question of 6 marks from this provision. So it is a chapter of advanced ruling. And it is a very small chapter, like 1-pager chapter. And I thought I should not read it because there are less chances that these questions come up in the exam. But I don't know, but I felt that I have to learn this, just go through it. And as you can see, the answer is not correct. The answer is not very crisp. I have just written down the keywords. So Mr. Apurva Limited is correct. And I have just written down the question once again. If you see the suggested also, you will understand that I have just copy pasted the question again in the same manner. So the entire question, if you see, I have received 2.5 out of 4. 1.5 marks were deducted, and I knew the marks will be deducted because it is not close to the suggested answer. I have written the entire answer from my own words and not even copy pasted from the module. I did not even remember it. So this is what luck gives you. If you do everything and if you just glance through one provision, it might give you 5 out of 6 marks. Sorry, my mistake. I received 4.5, which is equal to 5 marks. So this is what luck gives you. So in audit, you can do ABC analysis, but in case of other exams, you have to study everything. Please don't go by ABC in other subjects. Now coming to question number 6B. As you can see, I have cut the provision because I did not know the section. And if you don't know the section, just don't write it. It is very logical. So because I did not write it, he gave me 1 mark here. And out of the entire 4 marks, I received 3 marks in this provision. So 6 points, I received 3 marks, and this was the solution. Now coming to question number 4C. And I knew this question because it was a very easy question, and you will find it that entire point is correct. Everything is ticked mark, and I received 3.5 out of 4. So I have told you from the start as well that in a tough paper, identify easy questions. If you are able to identify easy questions, your motivation will go up, and then your mind will open, and those questions which you were not able to solve in the start, you will be able to solve at the end. And please mark my words, go through this entire paper and you will realize that whatever I have been saying, you will feel that in the exam as well. But you have to have a strategy. And in a tough paper, this is only the strategy that I think that will help you to clear a tough paper. That identifies easier questions, solve those questions, and then ultimately you will be able to solve the tougher ones. Now coming to the next question. So question number 4B. This question I did not know anything. I knew some part of it. It is a job work related question, and it is only half page. The entire concept is only half page in the module or in AR1 book. So I just knew the keyword, and the keyword was there should be an additional place of business. I did not know anything around it or after it. I just wrote it in my own words. So this was Atul Borkop should have an additional place of. Still, he gave me half marks only because it is not equal to the suggested answer. Now coming to the next, so there are 3 points in it. You have to write the GSTR1 sales as well. But here is the important point that in the suggested answer, there are 2 more points, and one of which does not have any value, nil value, and other one has value. So in case of value, it was my mistake. I did not know that it should be included. That is fine. But I knew that this will not have anything to be included in the GSTR1. But I did not write it. There is also marks for writing nil. And I will show you in the next questions as well that if you write the answer nil, you will get 1 marks for that. So don't skip the point if it has a nil value. Just write it. Write the point and write here pe nil. You will get marks for that as well. So I received 2.5, 2 out of 5 marks. And yeah, this was the learning that I told you above as well. So it was an interest related question. So this is correct. I knew the provision that after 60 days, if the payment is not made, the assessee will get the interest. So this was also correct. So I received 1.5 year, 0.5 year, 2 marks I received. And it is very unlucky for me that in this solution, the interest, the number of days should be 68, not 69. And I will tell you that I have written an alternative as well, but I have written 70. So I wrote the calculation for 69 days, wrote the calculation for 79 days, but did not write it for 68 days. And I did not receive any marks after it. You guys always practice the amount, the rate, you remember that, but you do not remember the number of days, how to calculate those days. What should be the first day, what should be the last day, whether first day should be included, whether last day should be included. All these things are necessary. And if you see in the suggested answer, both these days are included. But I skipped 1 day. And that is the reason I got 69 days and 70 days. So please, these are very silly mistakes from mine. But I cleared this exam and I do not regret on this. But let's say I would have failed by 2 marks. Writing this correctly would have got me 2 marks. But I did not get this mark only because of the number of days calculation and only because of 1 day. So please practice it. I will request you guys. Now coming to question number 2b. After this, I do not know anything. Okay, I will just write it whatever I know and I will just move on. This was the mindset that I was in after this question. So as you can see, this is correct, and this is a very idiot question. Like, I don't think so why ICAI made this question. Just I will show you. So this is incorrect. The answer should have been 0. This is incorrect because the answer should have been 0. So this is correct. The answer should have been 0. This is also incorrect because the answer this answer is also 0. And in the end, the solution is nil. Can you imagine that ICAI gave a question of 5 points in it and all those points are not even included? All those points will become nil and your answer will be nil. When you are writing that paper, when you are writing that tough paper and you find this question, then how can you just imagine that the answer will be nil? After writing 2 to 3 points, as you can see, after writing 3 nils, automatically my mind said that this will not be nil. Automatically my mind said that this will not be nil. And I wrote the numbers. Because when I was writing this point, I got confused. I thought it should be nil. But I was like, if there are 3 points which are nil, how can be the 4th point be nil? And this is how ICAI played in IDT exam. So a very big learning for you guys, that do not try to think that ICAI is trying to outsmart you. Just think of the provision and write whatever might be the correct answer. Do not think too much and write whatever is not correct. Just do not play games in the exam. ICAI is not playing games with you. He has only given you the question. Just think of the provision. If you think it is nil, just write it nil. Write every point as nil. It will be correct. If your thinking is correct, if you have correctly identified the provision, then you will get the marks. Believe in that. That's the biggest learning, and it will happen in 2 papers of yours in May 26. Now coming to question number 2C. So before selecting question number 2, I was confused and I started with question number 3. I thought that question number 3 has some part of the sub question that I knew. But when I started that question, I realized that I will not be able to solve that question. So I moved to question number 2 because there were 3 practical questions in question number 2. And in question number 3, there were 2 theory questions and 1 practical question, and 1 practical question I did not know much. So I chose question number 2 over 3 just because there were practical questions. And mind this, that in a practical question, if your 1 point is correct, you will get that point. But in theory questions, your suggested answer and your keyword should definitely match. Then only you will get the marks. So in this case, I chose question number 2, and this is the second part of sub question of that question. So as you can see, I received 2 and 3 out of 4 marks. Just because I chose question number 2 over 3, I received 3 here. I received 3 marks above. So 6 marks I received. But if I would have gone with question number 3, chances are that I would have gotten less marks, because there were many 2 theory questions and 1 practical question. So choose practical questions over theory questions if you don't know both the questions. Identify the sub question where there is practicality, where there are numbers. Because if your number are correct, even if your provision is wrong, ICAI will give you mark. But in case of theory answers, your keyword should definitely match. Word by word, it should match. So that is why. And yes, I don't know why my 1 marks were deducted, because each and every point is correct. It is matching with the suggested answer. It is just luck. So that is the thing. And this is the learning. Same learning that I told you. Now coming to question number 2a. So I left this page and I moved with question number 1. So as you can see, the entire solution I have written in 1 single page. And there are many cuts. Just because I solved this question in the last 2 minutes, I have not even drawn the box correctly, but still I received 1 marks. So it is just luck. Genuinely speaking, this was luck, because I just chose to write the solution. Do not leave anything. Even if you don't know anything, write something. And in a practical question, see, my 1 point was correct, 1 number was correct, and I received 1 mark. If these were also correct, I would have received more marks. Now coming to question number 1, and it was the last question. So as you can see, it is related to calculating the 14 marker question of calculating the GST liability. Whatever points were correct, I received the marks. And here the confusion started. In export, you do not have to pay GST, 0 rated. So these were all export. But when you are seeing that question, when you are seeing that the entire paper is tough, you do not think rationally. And I actually did not know this provision. These questions were very new and I did not even practice it. It was not very easy for me. And many of you guys will face this, because there are very less smart people who can actually think rationally in that tough paper. And 90% of you guys will be like me, who does not have any sense of what is going on in the paper. And then also you have to fight. Then also you have to think what should be the right answer and just write it. You cannot second guess, because you actually don't know. You are only guessing. So be very smart of whatever you are writing, write it. The easy ones, you have to make it correct. But the tougher ones, just believe in yourself and think that if it's correct, it's correct. If it is not right, then genuinely you do not know anything. So why bother? So as you can see, the entire question number 1 was incorrect. So this was also incorrect. This was correct. So I received 1 mark. So there were 3 points. I received 1 marks for each. So after all, in question number 1, I received 4.5 out of 14 marks. And I will suggest you that you solve this question, practice it, because there were many amendments that were tested. And in IDT, if you do not learn the amendments, you are going to fail. That is very sure. After Jan 26, if you are skipping amendments, that means you are skipping the attempt. As simple as that. In group 2, you will definitely fail, especially in IDT, if you are not learning the amendments properly. So learn the amendments, go through 1 or 2 questions for that amendment, and then only you will be able to solve that in a real paper. If you just read through the amendment, then you will not be able to solve. Because I read the amendment. I read the entire amendment in the last 2 hours of my exam. But I did not know anything. How to apply that amendment, that is important. Whether it should be included, whether GST will apply, whether it is place of supply, whether it will be IGST, CGST, this is very important. What will be the actual applicability of that provision? You have to remember that, learn that, understand that. Do not go with the mindset that because in Jan 26 IDT was easy, IDT was tough, in May 26 IDT will come easy. They will play games with you. It is you have to play that game and play it very sensibly. Because in 2 out of 6 paper, you will definitely get tough papers. And those papers will only define your attempt. If you are able to keep your mind calm, then you will be able to clear the exam in your first attempt or in your second attempt or in your third attempt. Whatever the attempts might be, your mind is very important in these tough papers. Please Just be very calm, identify the easy questions and go to the tougher ones. Then your mind will get open and you will be able to solve those questions. Don't get panicked. Don't think my three months have been lost right at the start. Just at least try, give your 100%, and then after it, if you do not get marks, you do not get marks. As simple as that. But at least give your 100%. After coming from the exam, you should not regret that I did not give my 100%. After analyzing this paper, I did not regret that actually I tried. You see, many marks I got just because of trying. I received 4.5 marks. I received 1 mark above just because I wrote something and I got marks. So this is how you clear. So this was the entire IDT analysis of my RTI paper. And as you would have seen, the entire paper, I just wrote the questions that I knew and moved on with the next question. So this is the way you have to do if your paper comes tough, and sure, 2 out of 6 papers will be tough. You have seen the trend and that trend will only continue. So prepare your mind that there will be one question, that there will be one paper in each group that you will not identify, that you will not be able to solve in the first 15 minutes of your reading. You have to solve just by doing it in the 3 hours of your exam. And do not give up. Please do not give up. You have given your 3 months, 4 months of your life just studying entire day. And when you are giving that paper and when you are solving that paper in the 3 hours, just think of the preparation that you have done. Believe in yourself and do not think of giving up. Write everything you know. In the entire IDT paper, I have written off at least 95 marks. I wrote everything. Even if I did not know anything, I wrote everything. And that is the only solution in a tough paper. And you have to do that. You have to follow this strategy if you have to pass a tough paper. So that's it from the video. If you have learned a lot from this video, do subscribe the channel, do share this video to each and every friend of yours who are going to give their exams in May 26 or in September 26. And there are many videos and many learnings that I have shared in the playlist called as CA Final Exam. So do watch those videos as well. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye, and study properly and give your 100%.